Go.
1789, the French Revolution. 1914, World War I. 1939, World War II. 2001, the terrorist attacks of 9/11. But the biggest disgrace of all was the student revolution of 1832, a horror I witnessed for myself. Grown men killing each other in wars is nothing compared to the slaughtering of innocent children simply for speaking out for what they believed. And who taught them to fight for what they wanted? The very same men who killed them.
Never shall I forget those moments that murdered my God and my soul and turned my dreams to ashes. As I walked toward those fiery chimneys that had killed so many before me, I had a thought. How can men be so cruel to one another? How can society allow the genocide of innocent people to go on? How can they be silent? How can they ignore us? Never shall I forget those things, even if I were condemned to live as long as God himself. Never.
We must learn to forgive, but never forget. Man is not evil, but his actions definitely can be. Through forgetting, we cannot prevent the same evils from repeating themselves. Man is many things. He is ignorant and puts himself before others. But man is not perfectible. Man is not born to hate. He is simply taught to. Because of this, all men in society should be forgiven.
It fits that a man by the name of King would be so willing to forgive when kings are responsible for society's wrongdoings and mistakes.
It fits that a man so contentious will be blind to true pain and suffering, and instead be preoccupied with his own selfish issues.
Are you implying that the suffering of society's young is irrelevant?
No, sir. I merely meant to imply that the suffering of an entire race holds more weight than one rebellion that was made by choice. You do not know discrimination. You cannot even fathom the injustices. All the unnecessary horrors because of race.
And what gives you the right to make such an argument?
I've experienced it for myself. I was rejected by my fellow man, my fellow brother. I was demoralized and degraded, all because of a color I had no part in choosing. I've experienced suffering, whereas you have only encountered it. Stop! Why do you bicker? Why do you argue over who has suffered more wounds? I've experienced murder, unnecessary murder, for myself.
And what is this unnecessary murder that you speak of?
All of it. I do not understand. And that, my brother, is exactly the problem. Lying, murder, theft, abuse, it's all the same. It's all criminal. Jail cells do not solve problems. They merely accommodate them.
Yes, I agree. Society's system of punishment should be revised. The corruption and the spoil systems that are in place have prevented the true issues from being addressed.
I agree that the true issues haven't been addressed, but it's not in our hands anymore. Whose hands then? The hands of the people.
You say this like it is a new concept. The idea that a person can make a change.
Can they not? Are you suggesting that a group of people who rally together cannot make those in charge change their opinions on anything from race to the women's right to vote? Can they not make a difference?
Yes, with the power of hundreds, but it is never possible on one's own.
You two are more alike than you realize. If you could just agree on something, maybe you can create that change that you're both so desperately seeking. He's right, Victor. We must learn to love our enemies. Let your tragic past bring you together, not tear you apart. Then you can solve those true issues, which right now are way too abundant for my liking. We must forgive those who hurt us.
But never forget the evils that have happened, for, in the end, they can help to make us stronger, and help us to find friends and homes where we thought only our enemies lived.